Whether due to my deck failing me, it just being wrong for the game state, or just sheer incompetence, I just didn't have Ensnaring Bridge in play a lot today. You'll have to see how well that went for me. So this is not my list. This list is a minor tweak of a list posted in the Lantern Control Discord, link in the description, by a very good friend of mine, Thinker. Now, Thinker has been playing Lantern Control for longer than I have, if you can believe it. He has been around since basically the deck was first conceived, or pretty dang close to it. He is the more or less head of the community. And I trust him to build lists oftentimes more than I do, actually. I looked at his list and I thought it was extremely responsible. I made a couple of minor changes, possibly some irresponsible ones, and decided to run it in a league today. So he has more or less come around to the idea that traditional Lantern Control black-green is dead, and that black-red is the way to go for traditional-esque Lantern lists going forward. So the main board has the Blood Moons, of course. It's got plenty of discard, and it also has a couple of interesting tutor targets. So Torpor Orb, Molten Collapse, Meathook Massacre. These are things that you can get off of your Profane Tutors. He has noticed that Profane Tutor has been overperforming for traditional adjacent Lantern lists for a decent chunk of time. And I would agree with him on this, actually. So I decided that I would include those same tutor targets in the main board. Blood Moons are a really interesting choice. We're going to have to see if that goes well today. He's on 23 lands plus a Mox Opal, which is more lands than I have played in a Lantern Control list in a decent chunk of time. I did end up taking his 4th basic Swamp and turning it into a Fomori Vault. Don't know if that's going to be a good change. We're just going to have to see. And the sideboard, I did make a couple of changes from his list. I decided to go down on sweepers, and I cut the Emrakul because him and I disagree on whether we should be hedging against mill. He hedges against mill basically anywhere he possibly can. And I don't hedge against mill. If I face mill, I just eat the loss and move on. So I brought in my signature 2 Duresses in the sideboard here. This is a very solid list and is a contender for my official list for Black-Red Lantern Control. Let's run it through a league, see how it does. All right, we have a fantastic start here in match 1 versus badthemost. I am on the draw. I am going to keep this hand. In these sorts of Blood Moon builds, you kind of have to treat Blood Moon like it's Ensnaring Bridge, especially if you have Urza Saga here. Marsh Flats into Sacred Foundry into Ragavan. This tells me energy. I am going to treat this like this is energy. I'm going to go Swamp, Inquisition of Kozilek, and I'm going to try and take their turn 2 play. And sure enough, I think the Ocelot Pride is the biggest thing that I can take out of this hand, and I believe that Blood Moon Urza Saga might actually be all right versus them. We're going to have to see. I don't like the basic planes, but Flage does require double white if you're casting it out of the graveyard, but I guess this Ragavan's going to be giving them some treasures as well. Wow, they hit my Lantern of Insight. I actually would have really liked to draw that. Come on, cast Lantern for me. Just do it. No, they're accelerating a Flage here. There is a chance that I Molten Collapse this Ragavan. I need to think about this. So I need to assume that I'm not going to find any more tools besides what I've got. I go right now, Urza Saga, Pyxis, pass. They go Ragavan attack, play Arena of Glory, play Legend of Roku, which Legend of Roku can just make flying dragons, can't it? But I can also Molten Collapse the Legend of Roku if I need to. And if they do that, then that means that Flage is just not coming back. So that might be okay. Let's say I take the Scaredy Cat route. I go Molten Collapse on Ragavan now. They go whatever they drew, if anything. And then I go next turn Urza Saga. That seems like it's a bit slow. I'm going to do the Blood Moon line. I don't know if this is correct or not. We're going to have to find out. Would love it if they didn't hit a discard spell off of this. Yeah, Bloodstained Mire, that's fine. So if they do just go straight up Legend of Roku right now, then Blood Moon gets to clap back. All right, that's beautiful. So we've got Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Ajani Nakatl Pariah, and Arena of Glory in exile right now. Those are all pretty important cards. Oh, you know what? That's actually a really good point. If I Blood Moon now, then I can't lock this Ragavan, and that's going to cause trouble for me. So do I just... I mean, I'm dropping Black Cleave Cliffs anyway, but do I block this Ragavan, or do I Blood Moon? I think I need to block. This will also get me a Lantern of Insight off this Urza Saga, which I really like. Although I could simply grab Underworld Cookbook and then just try and power through what they're doing with my constructs. Yeah, that's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's reasonable. Not using Arena of Glory here. They have 3 cards in hand, so they could potentially... Oh, they're attacking, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna block. There's no real downside to this, is there? Like, this is gonna put a card in the graveyard for Flage. Sure. That was lovely. And I hit Lantern of Insight anyway. So that is a really good hit for me. I like that a lot. I'm definitely, for sure, making another construct here. I can make these constructs into 6/6s. Like, those are not tiny. I think I can use Molten Collapse to trade for Ajani, potentially. I'm going to search my deck. I have to think about this. I really have to think about this. So, Codex Shredder, Pyxis, Mox Opal are not options. Lantern's not an option. So my options here really are Grafdigger's Cage, Pithing Needle, and Underworld Cookbook. Am I actually afraid of Ajani? It can plus to put a +1 counter on each cat they control. It can 0 to deal damage to me, but it can also -4. Like, I have this Molten Collapse in hand. I feel like I'm not going to have trouble trading with Ajani if I need to. I think I might just try and race them. I am going to get Underworld Cookbook here, and I will just drop basic Swamp into Lantern of Insight, and I'm going to attack with my construct here. Am I going to attack with my construct? They could just block it with the cat. Ajani would be turned on. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just leave it. I'm going to let them have the Ragavan. They're going to draw an Arid Mesa and what? A Sacred Foundry? They discarded that Ragavan there. Flage can now come out of the graveyard. Oh, they can haste Flage in. Yeah, I'm really glad I grabbed the Underworld Cookbook then. Here we go. That is a hasty Flage. Oh, they're just going face here. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you got it. I think I might actually need an Ensnaring Bridge relatively quickly. I'm certainly not blocking this guy, right? Yeah. I'm taking the damage here. I am going to exile and see what I find. That's Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and discard this Blood Moon. And I will eat this Flage with my construct. I don't think I'm going to be eating this. Sacred Foundry shocked in. Oh, they're flipping their cat anyway. This does put me to 1, I think. No, it puts me to 2 if they want to target me with it. Yeah, that's at 2 now. All right, let me see what I can find here. Arid Mesa is a card in their hand. I am going to exile here. Kind of just really looking for Ensnaring Bridge, honestly. Ooh, Thoughtseize isn't great, but at least it's Underworld Cookbook food. And there's a Profane Tutor right underneath of that. I am going to just... This has mana value 2, so I can't take anything else out with it, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just going to have to Molten Collapse here. So I can destroy target creature or planeswalker. I'm going to choose Ajani. This doesn't have... The token doesn't have haste. Okay. And it doesn't have any sort of evasion either. So if they decide to attack with Avatar Roku, then it's just going to die. They don't have really good attacks here. And I think I just need to hope that their last card in hand is not a Lage or something. Oh, they're just going all out. They might be wanting to use the Firebending mana here to make the dragon, which I think is correct. I'm going to fall to 1. Grab basic Swamp here. And I am going to discard this Thoughtseize. I don't need that. Gain the life before anything else happens. And I will eat their Avatar Roku, and I'm going to eat their Goblin Shaman. I'm going to fall to 2, which is not particularly comfortable. Oh, they didn't even use the Firebending mana, so they didn't make the dragon. Like, honestly, that was the big thing that I was worried about. Arid Mesa is down. Oh, man, nope. They can just cast Flage, and then I'm dead. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh, geez, that was so close. They were counting cards in their graveyard. But if I had not blocked the Avatar Roku, then I would have been dead anyway. Well, I did the best that I could, I think. But frankly, it just wasn't enough. Would I have even hit the Ensnaring Bridge? No, I wouldn't have hit the Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, wow. That was really clutch, though. Like, that was very interesting. I was this close to victory there. But the recast of the Flage just got me. Maybe that's something that I could have played around if I had been more aware of it. But I don't think that it was correct to get Grafdigger's Cage. I think I needed the Underworld Cookbook. So I was thinking about my sideboard mapping when I was redesigning the sideboard for this, and it really is just bring in Lightning Bolts and Pyroclasms, side out Blood Moons and Grafdigger's Cages. I'm going to double check and see if there's anything else I might want to do. I could see myself siding out 2 Thoughtseizes and replacing them with 2 Duresses. Just trying to save life against the extremely aggressive energy deck. And a lot of their stuff that I actually care about, like the Wrath of the Skies, the Wear Tears, stuff like that, like that's non-creature stuff. This is an interesting hand. I think I keep it. The question here is, do I lead on Urza Saga on turn 1? I don't think I do. I think I want the constructs. So I am going to lead on Swamp into Cookbook here. And then next turn, I will Urza Saga Profane Tutor. Yeah, that's just turn 1 Ragavan. That sucks. Oh, hey, I found Lantern of Insight. I don't think I'm casting that. I think I'm just going to suspend Profane Tutor. I really need the Ensnaring Bridge here. And then next turn, if I want to, I can trade these with the Ragavan. Like, spend a construct to trade with it. Yeah, they hit Profane Tutor. That doesn't have a casting cost. Oh, no additional land drop, you say? All right. Well, this Underworld Cookbook makes it such that if I create a construct, I can actually eat the Ragavan instead of simply trading with it. And they're still going for it. I am going to discard this Prismatic Vista. I don't think I'm going to need it. Yum, 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 yum. Delicioso! And that is a Clarion Conqueror. Fortunately, I've got that covered. Do I even want to remove that right now, though? Don't know that I do. Like, I'm not convinced that I need that off the table right now. I could simply just grab, like, Lightning Bolt and be done with it. But, like, I have Molten Collapse in hand. I can just kill that whenever I want to. I know they have an Ocelot Pride in hand. And I can make this construct a 6/6 by creating another construct, grabbing something off of this Urza Saga, and then playing Lantern of Insight. That's not nothing, actually. I could even grab Mox Opal off of the Urza Saga, so that next turn, if I get a Lightning Bolt now, I can just bolt the Clarion Conqueror and then move on with my life. Is that getting lost in the sauce a little bit too much? I'm tempted to get Meathook Massacre. I'm really tempted to get Inquisition of Kozilek here. Check their hand, but I can't check their hand this turn or next turn. That's the problem. Maybe I get Ensnaring Bridge and I just keep it as like an emergency thing. Maybe I get Pyroclasm and I just try to tempo them out. Because the only thing that would actually like really answer what I'm doing is Wrath of the Sky specifically. And I'm not really seeing a good spot here for everything that I'm trying to do. Mostly because I'm trying to make so many dang constructs. So maybe the line here is, well, they have an energy as well, so they can Wrath for 1 and just wipe my entire board. It's possible that I need to be a scaredy cat and not create the construct. If that's the case, then I need to get Inquisition of Kozilek. All right, I'm gonna get Inquisition of Kozilek. I don't know if this is correct or not. I drew another Inquisition. FML. Do I just tap it? I really don't want to get blown out by Wrath of the Skies here. I am going to just do this. And I'm going to set myself up for a Lantern Lock. Yikes, that is surgical extraction. Well, I'm playing my Urza Saga now, and I think I am going to Inquisition them. Yeah, see? Wrath of the Skies. That needs to get out of hand. And I think, since I've kind of already committed to the bit here, let's just go ahead and do this. They are running extremely low on mana. Honestly, I think I take the Galvanic Discharge out of this hand. Yeah, because if they play a Ajani, then I can just Molten Collapse it. I'm going to do it. And I have a higher life total than my opponent right now, and I am winning the race. They are going to draw this Surgical Extraction. Surgical Extraction on my Profane Tutor. I think this is mostly just to get Ensnaring Bridge off the table, or off the top of my deck. Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if they took all the tutors out of my deck. I don't need Profane Tutor right now. Okay, and they are just dropping Ocelot Pride. They don't have the energy to do that. Okay, I am going to draw my card here, and I need to decide if I am going to go on the offensive or go on the defensive. This is a weird way to say that. I could Molten Collapse the Clarion Conqueror right now, and that would do what for me? Not much. I'd probably end up discarding this Inquisition of Kozilek, making my construct a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I am going to just blow up their Clarion Conqueror, and then I'm going to swing. Probably correct for them to just chump with the cap. Yeah, all right. Marsh Flats is their draw, and now Ajani's coming down. They're probably going to put this on the Ocelot Pride, right? Gain some more life? Yeah, I think that's smart. Okay, well, I'm going to be at 10, I mean. And I think I might try and pivot. Yeah, they're trying to keep Wear Tear in their deck here. That's fair. Hey, Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. I love to see that. I'm going to discard this Inquisition of Kozilek, and then I am going to just win the game. I would need to keep the hero off of creature removal. I am going to grab Codex Shredder. Their hand's going to be irrelevant, and I'm going to start pretty aggressively milling out here. Maybe not that aggressively. Oh, but I do need to keep them off of creature removal, so Lightning Bolt's actually bad. All right. Pyxis is fine. Take that Wear Tear off the top of their deck. Flage is actually not okay, because that will instantly kill me, because they'll just hit the Ajani. All right, that's fine. And now we do normal Lantern things. With this Pithing Needle down, I now no longer need to worry about creature removal, and Ajani is okay to draw. I'm going to set my stops slightly differently now. Yep, because I need to save time. So I'm milling on their draw step after they draw for turn, just so that I can F6 through turns. Going to gain a little bit of life here. Flage is mostly irrelevant. And I am unfortunately in another spot where I'm running low on time. I really need to start getting better at doing this. Yeah, they're just casting Flage out of the graveyard. Like, this is going to put me down on life a little bit, but it's really just not going to matter that much. They have a fetch land in play now, so I need to set an upkeep stop. Discard this bridge. I'm going to actually pop one of these foods just to stay ahead of the Flage. They are just fetching on end step here, so I can remove the upkeep stop now and start setting up for next turn. Doing it like this saves me a ton of time on my clock, where I'm controlling draws on the opponent's draw step and then just F6ing through the entire turn. Like, I'm getting refunded a lot of time here, but I think I'm not going to have enough time to win game 3. Once again, just taking a little bit too long with my stuff. Discarding that. F6ing. They're going to draw this Elegant Parlor. I am going to start milling. And I think they're actually going to make me go through this one more time, which really stinks. Yeah, one more turn. They have 5 cards in their deck. Okay, and that's it. That's all I can do. I'm removing stops. I'm going to put them back here in a second. And I win the game, but I am most certainly going to lose the match just by timing out, if for no other reason. I am going to restart my client very quickly during sideboarding. All right. 54 seconds left on the clock for me to bring in all the things that I want to bring in. Yeah, that's how I did it last time. I'm going to try this. And I am not going to be able to win a normal Lantern control game. I'm going to have to go aggressive with Sagas. I have less than 3 minutes on the clock. This is a mole. This is a keep. I guess I'm going to bottom the Lightning Bolt. I really need to get better about F6ing through people's turns, including my own. Wow, double Wrath of the Skies, huh? I'm going to take one of them. That's a Ajani. I was kind of expecting that. Wish I hadn't needed to bottom that Bolt earlier, but I did, so I did. Blackleaf Cliffs, Profane Tutor. They have Lightning Bolt here that they can use to flip the Ajani if they want to. That will certainly give me trouble. Do I even want to be playing out all this stuff like directly into Wrath of the Skies? Not particularly. I am going to drop the Ensnaring Bridge though, and then next turn I can get a discard spell for Wrath, and then I can set up a lock. Unless I have something like a Galvanic Discharge right now, they're not going to be able to blow up my Ensnaring Bridge. This was mostly just to get it out of hand for timing purposes. Casting that Profane Tutor, getting that Inquisition of Kozilek, playing out Bloodstained Mire, fetching, and I am just going to fire this off right now. Let's see what happens. That's Wear on my bridge. Yep. Wrath's Lightning Bolt, Seasoned Pyromancer. Taking that Wrath. I am unfortunately going to have to just kind of cope with everything else. Okay, I've got an Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck now. Bolting my face, huh? Yeah, I'll take that. Marsh Flats as their land. They're fetching with it. Galvanic Discharge. I think I have to let them have this. Drawing Galvanic Discharge and Sacred Foundry. Okay, that means that I'm going to be taking damage down to 6 here. They can flip Ajani this turn. They're choosing not to, keeping the Goblin Bombardment in their deck. That's Flage. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to see that at all, actually. I think I need to shuffle that. And that is a Goblin Bombardment. I need to mill that too, because that is actually just instant death for me right now. Okay, Blooded Strand. Discharging the cat. Now they're going for it. Yeah, Ajani's just doing the Ajani thing. And I need to... Oh, no, that's not what I needed to do. Dang it. It didn't really matter. I was going to draw the Pyxis anyway, and honestly, I'm running out of time. But I should not have drawn that. I just went too quickly. Let's see if there would have been a Pithing Needle underneath everything. So I actually might have been able to come out of this. If I hadn't made that misclick right there with drawing the Thoughtseize and just going through my upkeep because I'm going quickly, then I would have drawn Pyxis, and there would have been a Pithing Needle right under the Pyxis. I would have had to hope that they shuffle with the Ragavan because I'm at 4, and Ajani would have zeroed and actually dealt 4 to me. So maybe that wouldn't have worked. Huh, interesting. Well played from the hero here. I think I did pretty dang close to the best that I could do, but I need to speed up my play. Losing that game 1 with so much time burned, again, it really hurts. I need 5 minutes to lose a game, and I need to be able to recognize within 5 minutes, am I losing this game or not? And I think I need to be more aggressive about conceding games. Well, that's a lesson I'm gonna have to learn. Let's move on to match 2 here. If you're enjoying the video and think you'd like watching more of what I make, please consider subscribing so YouTube can notify you when I go live and upload videos. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I am on the play here in match 2 versus Parabolic. Parabol something. I will keep this hand. This is a very nice Inquisition, Pyxis, Ensnaring Bridge as a Saga hand. You know, it does things. It does things. It's actually pretty dang close to the perfect Lantern hand, if I had to say something about that. Okay, let's Inquisition you. Ugh, what a disgusting hand. What an actually nasty, horrible, disgusting hand. So we are playing against Broodscale. Do I take the Kozilek's Command out of this hand? Yeah, I think I'm going to. Everything else is kind of slow. They've only got 2 lands in it. And they can cast that Kozilek's Command off of the Grove of the Burn Willows and the Cavern of Souls. Grove of the Burn Willows is just a really good land for this deck overall. Red, green, and colorless, and it doesn't hurt them. Okay, Grove into Stirrings. I go to up to 21, which is not nothing. And they found Urza Saga. Well, I have an Urza Saga too. Theirs is probably better. Here's Malevolent Rumble. Well, they found a second Urza Saga. That's probably really the only thing they can take. I don't think constructs are going to be particularly important this game. That being said, I'm not really doing much with my mana right now anyway, so I may as well make a construct. Like, I would be casting this Pyxis out of my hand. I don't really care about that. Like, I could get Ensnaring Bridge down. I don't know if that's relevant. Like, I can do that next turn. Verdant Catacombs is a land that I didn't know about. There's the Broodscale. Maybe it was just correct for me to play Ensnaring Bridge here. I don't know. I'm not completely convinced that that is the best thing that I can be doing. And you know, I could just get Pithing Needle off this Urza Saga, but they have lots more Urza Saga tokens coming here, so maybe I would rather just get Lantern of Insight, kill the Basking Broodscale, play out Pyxis, and then just start attempting to control the game. Yeah, I'll attack. I don't think that's really a consequence for this attack, right? Grove of the Burn Willows. Okay, they are just making their own construct. I'm okay with this. I'm gonna hope that there's not a Pithing Needle in their deck. Pithing Needle would actually hurt quite a bit here. Okay, yeah, it's just Blade of the Blood Chief. I am ready to check their hand again. I haven't done that in a minute. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern is one of the unknown cards. They still have another unknown card. I don't want that to be the thing, so no Emrakul, no Malevolent Rumble for them. Blade of the Blood Chief is okay. Honestly, like, if I just play Meathook Massacre, I'm okay with drawing it. This will disable all future, like, Basking Broodscale sort of loop things that they can do. Like, they can make infinite mana, but it'll also gain me infinite life. And I would rather just chump here. I think there's a very good chance that I can win this game. 1, 2, 3. They can play a land here, Cavern of Souls. That gives them Sowing Mycospawn that tutors a land, but not kicked. And they are just choosing to make their construct bigger. I'm gonna see what's gonna be on top of everyone's deck at the end of the turn before I... Oh, I have a Thoughtseize, huh? I'm going to take the hit here, and I'm gonna start using my life total as a resource. I want this Thoughtseize. So even if they, like, I don't think that they have the skateboard in their deck, because if they did, then I feel like they would have just gotten that instead of Second Blade here. I am holding these Ensnaring Bridges in hand, and I'm going to continue to just hold them for a little bit. But this tapped forest meant that they can't Sowing Mycospawn. Oh my god, they have Boseiju. Alright, that does make my life more difficult, doesn't it? That makes my life a lot more difficult, actually. That actually might be game-winning for them. I need to be careful about that. Should have gotten this Ensnaring Bridge down sooner. I just have this silly Meathook Massacre in play. Guess I was just trying to play around something different here. That's another construct. That is an Eldrazi Temple for them. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think Boseiju is going to win them the game. Oh, and they have Haywire Might. Yeah, that's game. I'm not gonna continue playing this game. Maybe there was a way that I could have played around Boseiju specifically. I was more worried about other things, and perhaps I should have been less worried about, like, Second Broodscale. Although at the time they had 2 unknown cards in their hand, didn't they? I don't know. I feel like this Meathook Massacre was just a bad play. I feel like I should have just put an Ensnaring Bridge in play instead, and the Haywire Might in the main. Like, if they had Haywire Might, I thought they would have gotten it off the first saga, but maybe they just realized that they didn't need to. All right, so against this deck, Cursed Totem is MVP, and I really want Cursed Totem. Torpor Orb is fine. Blood Moon is okay. Blood Moon does shut off a lot of the kind of like shenanigans that their deck can do. I don't think I'm interested in Grafdigger's Cage. I don't have a third Pithing Needle in my sideboard. I am interested in the Underworld Cookbook, because it can gain life if I'm doing like a Glaring Fleshraker thing. Molten Collapse is fine. Meathook Massacre is fine. Do I want to be Blood Mooning this opponent? If I am siding out Blood Moon, what am I bringing in? Torpor Orb isn't particularly strong here, is it? I could do like side out Torpor Orb, but I could also like side out Blood Moons, bring in like Caresses or something. Their deck doesn't have that many basics in it. I could side out Blood Moons and bring in Bolts. I could leave 1 Blood Moon in the deck as a tutor target and bring in the 2 Lightning Bolts. Yeah, I think that's okay. Because I don't want Pyroclasms. Pyroclasms, like, they have a bunch of stuff that's a bunch of different sizes. And Lightning Bolt is just kind of point and click for everything that I want to kill. Although I guess Pyroclasm would kill a lot of stuff, wouldn't it? Oh, I can't keep this. I can keep this. I wish I didn't have to bottom a card out of this hand. I'm going to bottom Codex Shredder. I don't want to bottom Codex Shredder, but I felt like it was just the worst card in the hand. Or rather, the most replaceable card. How about that? Yeah, Glaring Fleshraker can come out of this hand pretty easily. That's just the card that I can't really deal with. Ooh, ripped the Urza Saga. Love to see that. Curse Totem. And they kept a card on top. That doesn't feel good. All right, they're dropping their own Urza Saga. And this is a Basking Broodscale that's basically going to do nothing. And I am going to shock in this Blood Crypt. I think that constructs are going to be a part of this game. And my constructs are coming down faster and are bigger than theirs. Okay, that Eldrazi Temple is a land that I didn't know about. No casting the Sowing Myco spawn here. Oh, Lord. Blood Moon's a really bad card for this spot, I think. Unfortunately. Oh, they just let it go. So I could do one of any number of things here. I could grab Mox Opal, and I could land Pyxis, or land Lantern maybe, and I can just start going to town with these constructs. I can grab the Underworld Cookbook and make the constructs slightly larger. I think that's bad. I could grab Pithing Needle and put it on either Urza Saga or Boseiju, depending on what I think is worse for me. I think I'm going to grab the Mox Opal because I don't have my third land, mostly. All right, Lantern's coming down. That is a Nature's Claim. I'm just swinging here. No blocks. They see the Ensnaring Bridge on top of my deck. Oh, I could do something really nasty here. I still have the Blood Moon. I'm gonna take a calculated risk and I'm gonna let them draw the Nature's Claim. And I'm gonna see what they do with it. Maybe that was a mistake though, because they can just grab the sword from this. Yeah, they're not making the construct. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Haywire Might. Yeah, they're just Nature's Claiming my construct. That's great for me. Haywire Might is shut off by Curse Totem. Nature's Claim down, Cavern of Souls down. Oh, it's a Thief of Existence. No, that's terrible. And they're swinging here. Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty much priced into Blood Moon. Oh, but they have a forest on top of their deck. Just basic forest. I'm gonna draw this Ensnaring Bridge. Basic forest on top of their deck means Blood Moon no longer really does anything. I think I have to drop Ensnaring Bridge here. That makes my construct a 4/4. It means they kind of have to blow it up with this Haywire Might. And if they don't blow it up, then I can land Pyxis next turn. Still one unknown card in hand. At this point, I'm just praying it's a blank. It is a blank. All right, so they just landed Eldrazi Temple. Oh, but that's disgusting. That means that they can kick it and exile my swamp. Or my Blood Crypt, I guess. How nasty. Although, this means that now Haywire Might can't activate, and I can put Pithing Needle on Haywire Might, which means that I can just drop this and drop Pyxis, and now I just need lands. I think I might be okay. I would be more okay if there is a land of any type that enters untapped underneath this Profane Tutor, which is actually all of them, because then that means I could cast Blood Moon, and I could shut off this Urza Saga. Oh, they're making the construct now. That was just a mistake. Yeah, Pyxis. Oh, man, Pyxis again, because you can't have Kozilek's Command on top of your deck, and I don't want this Ensnaring Bridge. This is getting a bit tight. That's a Boseiju. That's getting a little bit too tight here. I'm gonna have to draw the Thoughtseize. Jeez. The cards are just not lining up for me. I am going to Thoughtseize myself, actually. And I think I unfortunately need to take the Blood Moon. I think Blood Moon's time has passed. I need to decide if I'm going to be able to win through this Boseiju. What happens if they Boseiju? They can Boseiju one of any number of things. It could be the Pithing Needle, which would unlock Haywire Might, which would hit my Ensnaring Bridge. They could Boseiju my Lantern, which would suck, but then Haywire Might's not off. They probably are going to be Boseijuing Pithing Needle here. What happens if I sacrifice my Lantern? That's basically the same thing as them Boseijuing Lantern, and I really don't want them Boseijuing Lantern. I'd rather them Boseiju Ensnaring Bridge at this point, honestly. I am going to let them draw the Boseiju. I do not like this. Yeah, I can still survive this turn. 2, 6, 9, 12, 14. Oh, wait, no, the construct gets a little bit bigger, doesn't it? Because they Tutor Blade of the Blood Chief. Yeah, so maybe they just do blow up Ensnaring Bridge here. And then I just die. I guess I hadn't really considered how much power they had on board. They got a lot of power here. 10, 2, 7, 10, 13, 50. Yeah, that's just lethal. All they have to do here is blow up Ensnaring Bridge and then swing for lethal. Gonna make them do it. Yeah, they know what they're doing. All right. And that even lets them swing with the Haywire Might. Dang. So maybe I should have sacrificed Lantern But at that point, like, I would have drawn Mycosynth Guard, and there was another Lantern in my deck. Oh my god. So I would have just been paid in spades if I had just let them, if I had just taken the Boseiju with Lantern. Yeah, that was a misplay. I should have just done that. Geez. This deck is hard to play, y'all. It's really hard. Let's move on to match 3. Did losing to my prison deck leave you feeling bitter and despondent? Work through the stages of your grief with a membership to Fateseal Magic on Patreon, YouTube, or Twitch. As your grief matures, you'll gain perks like early video access, lessons and sideboard guides, featuring your deck in a video, and can even co-host a stream once you reach acceptance. I hope to see you on your path to healing. I'm on the play here in match 3 versus Junior. Okay, that's not funny anymore. Do I keep this hand? This is a turn 1 Pyxis into turn 2 Profane Tutor. I have Torpor Orb to slow things down and Molten Collapse on turn 3 if I need it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I talked myself into it. That was really easy. I can't both cast Meathook Massacre and Molten Collapse with the lands that I have in hand, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit of help. But if I'm casting Ensnaring Bridge at some point, I'm gonna need a little bit of help anyway. Devourer of Destiny, FML. Let's see what variant they're on. Oh, they exiled all 4, huh? You don't want Karn the Great Creator? That terrifies me. That genuinely scares me. Their hand was just so perfect that they didn't even want Karn the Great Creator. Well, I've got Profane Tutor, and I feel like I'm going to want to cast Molten Collapse more than I want to cast Meathook Massacre. So I am going to get the red source here, and I'm just going to suspend. That's just a Thought Knot Seer. Well, that's going to soften me up quite a bit for the Karn the Great Creator that they almost certainly definitely have in hand. Blackcleave Cliffs is fine. I am just going to suspend Profane Tutor again. Famous last words, Torpor Orb isn't super good in this matchup, even though if I had Torpor Orbed on turn 2, then Thought Knot Seer wouldn't have taken my Molten Collapse. But they're currently not really doing much here. I am going to cast this Profane Tutor. They're really just not doing much. They've been tapping their lands before casting their spells and then manually clicking each mana to do it. They exiled a Karn the Great Creator when I had Pyxis of Pandemonium just on the table. They also exiled the Kozilek's Command. Why would you do that? There's a chance I just get Urza Saga here. I kind of want to go aggressive. I have another Profane Tutor that I can get next turn. And I can do Urza Saga into Meathook Massacre this turn if I want to. Yeah, I'm going to get Urza Saga. Oh, I found Lantern. I don't know a single card in their hand. I could go the Meathook Massacre route and kill the Glaring Fleshraker. They've only got 2 lands. They didn't play a land on their turn 3. If I Meathook Massacre for 2 now, killing the Glaring Fleshraker, the next turn I could just tutor more things. I could see myself taking an aggressive line this game. Or I could just Torpor Orb, and that would shut off the Fleshraker's damage ability, but not the mana. I'm playing the Saga for sure. I think I am going to Lantern Torpor Orb. Part of the reason for that is that it's going to make the Saga's tokens bigger. Yep, there's the Kozilek's Command. I don't want them having that. I am just going to exile that now. Ugh, another Glaring Fleshraker. Well, I could just Meathook Massacre next turn if I really wanted to. Take out both Glaring Fleshrakers. And at least that's not dealing damage to me. Oh, they didn't do anything. It's interesting. Or do I just grab Ensnaring Bridge here? I think I would rather have Thoughtseize. And then this Urza Saga can be my Ensnaring Bridge of sorts. Blood Moon's time has kind of passed here. All right, Thoughtseize you, what's going on here? You've had Karn the Great Creator in hand this entire time and have just refused to cast it? What's going on? Why are you doing that? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking that. I don't know why they just let me do that. Now I need to decide if I'm going to Meathook Massacre for 2. And I think the answer to this is no. I think I want them to commit a little more before they do that. That's a Dismember on my Construct. I'm going to fault a 1 here, which honestly is not particularly comfortable. Torpor Orb has definitely saved my bacon here. Kind of wishing I had gotten a Ensnaring Bridge at some point. I think I need to exile with Pyxis, unfortunately. Yikes. Yeah, that is a Kozilek's Command. I can't afford for them to have that. Well, this Meathook Massacre definitely is no Ensnaring Bridge, is it? Dismember's out of their hand. I still see a path forward. It's not a super comfortable path, but it exists. It involves drawing this Urza Saga, creating a construct, and then going to fetch the Underworld Cookbook. Now this Urza Saga is going to come down, and I'm going to pass the turn at 1 life here. Yeah, Devourer of Destinies in hand now. I think I can win this game. Like, this doesn't... Like, that might be an insane statement to make, but I think I can win. Let's see what they attack with here. Just everything? Yeah, I'm going to discard the Underworld Cookbook. I'm going to pop it, gain some life. And then I am going to eat their Thought-Knot Seer. I'm going to draw a card. And that's just a Devourer of Destiny. I don't care about this. Like, my construct is going to get bigger than this, right? I do want to fetch with Prismatic Vista here. Get a basic swamp. Yeah. I can make constructs bigger than their Devourer. I am going to just discard this Blackleaf Cliffs now before I make a mistake. Because I have 5 mana right here. I am going to continue to block, I think. Yeah, in fact, let me go ahead and make this construct now before I forget. I don't need to eat the food. Urza's Mine is their draw. This Urza Saga can grab Pithing Needle for the Ugin that they're about to drop here. Okay, so they're getting an Urza's Mine. Yeah, they're just not attacking. I am going to pop this food and I'm going to eat it. Okay, I really want this Urza Saga. Now, the worst thing that they could get off of this expedition map is something like a Sanctum of Ugin, which is when they cast a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater. So as long as I just keep them off of those, then I'm going to be okay. I am just going to search my deck for a Pithing Needle for the Ugin Eye of the Storms. All right, I'm going to drop this Urza Saga. And I think I am going to play out the Lantern of Insight here. And I'm going to attack with 1 construct. They're chumping, that's fine. I think they just need to start casting Glaring Fleshrakers here. Yeah, there's one. I think I can safely F6 here. F0, I guess. Now I have to clear my auto yields because they could shuffle their deck and then draw with Mindstone. This game's just taking freaking forever. Urza's Power Plant. Yeah, I don't care. All right. Okay, now what am I doing? I am making more constructs, honestly. Or do I just slam Ensnaring Bridge and start doing this the normal way? I think I'm just going to do... Well, I need to win this game quickly is the problem. So I think I am going to make constructs while I can. And I'm just not going to attack yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to discard this Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to make the food and I'm going to pop it. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room here. And I am going to start attacking and chewing my way through these chump blockers that they've got. I'm going to grab Pyxis number 2. I don't care about what I have anymore. Yeah, this is a safe attack. And I'm going to start winning this game through combat damage. Every single land that they draw is fewer blockers that they have. Just going to F0 here. I need to win this game relatively quickly. I'm falling behind on time. Still no good attacks. I'm going to discard this bridge and I'm going to gain life. Like, that might seem insane to you, but this is my Ensnaring Bridge. You don't need Ensnaring Bridge in a position like this. And I am going to attack them with 3 of these. Yeah, because I can take 6, a hit for 6 and still survive. And I think I'm going to start making it so that they only draw lands. Not going to give them any more blockers for Glaring Fleshraker to take advantage of. Or to create, I guess. Although, I suppose the Expedition map draws fine. Karn the Great Creator on top of the deck is not fine. That is very much not fine. So I will be exiling that. Still no good attacks. Exile. And they're just going to search with Expedition map. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Exile here. I'm really trying to give them just lands. That's good. I am going to pop the food, but I'm not going to discard this Ensnaring Bridge. And pretty soon here, they're going to be out of spawns. All right, and that is another land on top of their deck. So let me think about this. They would be able to let 1 construct in, but not 2. So they have to lose 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just an all-out attack. Yeah, because if they let 2 creatures in, then they're dead. And I have 5 of them. I could even survive that. I could survive anything, actually, because I can just gain life. Yeah, this is an all-out attack. Wow, turns out that combat's easy when you know what card every single person has in hand, right? And Lantern Control wins the game by putting the hero down to negative 59 life. Oh, let's go ahead and begin sideboarding here. That was a beautiful game. So Torpor Orb is fine. Molten Collapse is really good. I don't want Grafdigger's Cage. I don't want Meat Hook Massacre. So that stuff can go. The Underworld Cookbook, I think I do want. Although if I find the Torpor Orb, then that's slightly more useful, isn't it? But Underworld Cookbook and he got off of Urza Saga. Let me see what else I would want to bring in. I could see bringing in Duresses. I could see bringing in Lightning Bolts and Pyroclasms. If I wanted to go the Lockout route, I could see bringing in Magus of the Moons. But the problem is they have Mind Stones and they have Glaring Flesh Rakers. And their basic land is a swamp. I didn't see Basic Waste, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. But I'm not going to be making them search out basic lands anyway. I'm going to be on the draw. I think on the draw, I take out the Lock Plan. I bring in Lightning Bolts. I bring in Soulless Jailers. I bring in Torpor Orb. Or Duresses, I guess. Lightning Bolt is good when I'm behind. It can remove Karn. It can remove Glaring Fleshraker. It can remove the body of a Sowing Mycospawn. I've got 12 minutes and 37 seconds left on my clock. I need to concede this game very quickly if I see that I'm going to be losing, I mean. This is a double Thoughtseize, double Profane Tutor hand. I genuinely might keep this. Thoughtseize is a really important card in this matchup. I think I am going to keep it. Thoughtseize on 1, Profane Tutor on 2, Thoughtseize plus Profane Tutor on 3, and then start executing a game plan after that. I've had worse hands. I've kept worse hands than this. Sire of 7 Deaths, huh? Well, you saw what my deck looks like when I draw a bunch of Urza Sagas. Oh, that is the Stonebrain. Yeah, I want to take that. I want to take that. This is why we thought Seize on turn 1, everybody. Although they probably should have just played the Stonebrain here, right? Don't know why they didn't. I guess because they were trying to turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer. Taking one of my Profane Tutors is fine, I guess. I am still going to just suspend Profane Tutor here. Probably should have fetched the Prismatic off the Prismatic Vista because I've only got 2 more basic lands in the deck. Getting chunked for 4 here, that hurts. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and fetch the basic Swamp here. I don't know if I want to be casting Thoughtseize right away. I think I might just want to hide behind Ensnaring Bridge and just pray, I guess. Oh, dang it, I should have Thoughtseized. Oh, come on. Come on. Kozilek's Command, although I guess they can stack their deck too, so... I have a feeling this is going to be a losing game. I need to decide very quickly here. I've got that itch. 1 top, 3 bottom. Going to F6 here. Ugin Eye of the Storms, that's fine. For now, I guess. Not having that second Profane Tutor really hurts. Honestly, the Ugin's going to kill me faster than the Thought-Knot Seer is. Maybe I just need to get lucky? Yeah, I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Taking Expedition Mat. And I am going to drop Pithing Needle on Ugin. But this means that I need to very quickly here find an Ensnaring Bridge. It's possible that this sequencing was incorrect. Like maybe I should have... yeah, Sire of 7 Deaths. Maybe I should have actually activated Fomori Vault that turn. Let the Pithing Needle go and then like Thoughtseize and everything next turn. I just need natural Ensnaring Bridge right here. That's not Ensnaring Bridge. Let's go ahead and concede the game. Well, at least that loss went very quickly. So, Kozilek's Command was a real big problem that game. I think that now that I'm on the play, I am more interested in locking them out. So I'm going to bring in these Blood Moons and Magus of the Moons. Torpor Orb's coming out. It's just not super really good against that. It's pretty situational. Inquisition of Kozileks are also coming out, I think. I can Lightning Bolt a Glaring Fleshraker if it comes down. I think I'm going to run it like this. Wow, this is a terrible hand. I'm going to mulligan this. This is also a terrible hand, but I am tempted to keep based off of the strength of Magus of the Moon. I think the reason I won't keep this is because this is a Prismatic Vista, and I can't fetch basic Swamp and basic Mountain with it. But if I just like, man, if this was just land, Magus of the Moon, I would be very happy. I am unfortunately mulliganing pretty low right now. All right, we're going to have to keep this. We're going to have to put our faith in Magus of the Moon to deliver. I'm going to bottom Shredder and Pithing Needle. Actually, I'm gonna bottom Shredder and Pyxis. And I'm just gonna hope they don't have a turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer or Glaring Fleshraker or something. They are mulliganing down to 6. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom the Mill Rocks. Although, well, if they can land a Karn the Great Creator, then I'm really gonna wish I had Pithing Needled it. But if they land Karn the Great Creator, then I'm probably just dead anyway. All right, Devourer of Destiny is down. I am going to fetch basic Swamp while I can. And I am actually gonna play Codex Shredder here because they had the Devourer of Destiny reveal. They just did exile 4 cards here, so no way to get them off of that. Urza's Mine, Expedition Map. Prismatic Vista means I can get double Swamp here. This might just be a Tron hand from them. Oh, that's basic Swamp. Chalice of the Void on 1, huh? I do have Molten Collapse that can deal with that. I need to land Magus right now. All right, Magus of the Moon, do your thing. I'm relying on you. I'm really counting on you, Magus of the Moon. Please save me from certain death. It's done it a couple of times in the past. No, they had the basic Waste. Oh, that's terrible. That is actually horrible. Well, Profane Tutor is going on suspend now. And I guess I'm just dropping my lands, getting my attacks in while I can. This means that they can cast Glaring Fleshraker this turn. Yeah. All the Magus of the Moons in the world cannot handle basic Waste. Yeah, running basic Waste and basic Swamp is a little bit of a thing. It's not trivial to do, but the hero did manage to pull it off. Oh, and that's just a Chalice of the Void for 0 right now, just so that they can get their value off of the Glaring Fleshraker. And I'm just continuing to draw straight lands. I'm not attacking with Magus. This does unfortunately represent Kozilek's command. I think that they're squeaking out from underneath of this Magus of the Moon here. Oh, this does represent Kozilek's command. Oh, that's another Glaring Fleshraker. So you're telling me that if I had put Pyroclasm in my deck, then I could have just swept the board, and then I would have lost my Magus of the Moon, and then everything would just be terrible? Well, what do I even fetch here? Nothing, apparently, because Chalice of the Void on 0 clips that. Well, I drew Blood Moon. I am going to cast Blood Moon. All right, so we are kind of seeing the effect of Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon on a deck that you would think it would be good against, but it ends up not actually being good against them. Yeah, that's Karn the Great Creator. Oh, just put me out of my misery. All right, they're just kind of doing whatever the heck they want to do here. They got the Karn, they got the Disruptor Flute. They don't even care about what they named about with it. It's just, you know what, at this point, I'm just gonna trade. It's just named a Killer Among Us. Oh, I was at 1 life because of all of the Glaring Fleshraker triggers. I wasn't even paying attention to that. That's just how far behind I was. It was just like, you know what, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. So that is a very good exercise in what happens when you don't, how do I say this? Lock out the deck with your lock pieces. It's just, it's a lot. Well, that was fun, kind of. I mulled a 5 too in that game, didn't I? Yeah, whatever. All right, on to match 4. All right, I'm on the play here in match 4 versus DJac. I love that Word of Command avatar that they've got. This is turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Profane Tutor, turn 3 do something, I guess. I'll keep it. It's not a super strong hand, but Double Lantern is kind of like a lock, right? Thoughtseize you, what's going on? Oh, we are playing against Neoform. They kept a double Neoform hand. This Wistfulness. Yeah, I'm gonna take Wistfulness out of this hand. This hand doesn't really do much besides that. They do have a Beseiju in this hand, which I have to worry about. Yeah, mate, go ahead and hold up that Veil of Summer. Ooh, Urza Saga. Don't mind if I do. That is a delicious Beseiju target. Just go ahead and just clip my Urza Saga. It's an enchantment and it's a non-basic land. Uh-oh, they kept a card on top. That scares me. That terrifies me, actually. I don't like that. Did they just find the Allosaurus Shepherd? No, you didn't just find the Allosaurus Shepherd just like that. Make it a little more difficult than that, please. I have been here fighting for my life in this league. I don't need my opponents just finding Allosaurus Rider off the top of their deck, just like that. I am dead. I am just like that. I'm dead. Just like that. I'm gonna let them do their thing. Disgusting. I am on record saying that this is disgusting and I do not approve. Well, I am going to do what I can here. I'm gonna make a creature here, I think. Maybe I should have just dumped out my hand, honestly. How gross. Right, they just have Eldritch Evolution because their draws were an additional green card and then just Allosaurus Rider. Oh my god. Oh my god, just put me out of my misery, please. Xenagos, God of Revels. Yeah, there was just nothing I could do here. What was I gonna do? Put Lantern of Insight into play on turn 1 as opposed to Thoughtseize? Yeah, this has got haste and trample and it's a 24/24. Just, yeah, all right, sure. All right, I got clowned on turn 1. Let's go ahead and have a real game 2, maybe. Duress, get in the deck. Do I want Curse Totems? Do I want Torpor Orbs? I feel like all of these things are kind of secondary. I don't want Blood Moons, but I might... Duresses are already in. Meathook Massacre can come out. Grafdigger's Cage is essential. Maybe I just want literally anything that does anything. Soulless Jailer doesn't help. Curse Totems do help. Torpor Orb does help a little bit. And I guess I can cut the Underworld Cookbook. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, Torpor Orb will shut off Wistfulness, and it'll shut off stuff like Galta, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna try this out. Well, this is a perfectly normal and reasonable Magic the Gathering hand. I'm gonna keep it. Got the Mox Opal in it, which isn't great. Inquisition U. Wow. Yeah. Well, you have... Wistfulness in here, huh? Planar Genesis is a thing, but this is just a turn 3 win if I don't interrupt it, so I am going to interrupt it by taking your Summoner's Pact. You should have cast Summoner's Pact in response, because then I wouldn't have been able to take it. Mycosynth Gardens, Profane Tutor, let's go. And they surveilled the top again. I swear, if this is going to be another Neoform... I guess the best that they could have done here is turn 3. No, they could have done turn 2 if they had perfects. Oh, I found Inquisition of Kozilek. That's really good. I like that. Like, I know they have the Wistfulness in hand. Oh my god, they just have everything. Well, I have to take the Eldritch Evolution out of this hand, because if I don't, then they just... Allosaurus Rider, Eldritch Evolution. And if they find an Eldritch Evolution or a Neoform off this Planar Genesis, then I just immediately lose anyway. So I am going to take the Eldritch Evolution. I am not going to do anything else. I will not cast Lantern of Insight. I will not give the hero that information. There's the basic forest, one of the reasons I didn't bring in Blood Moons. Looking at the top 4 cards of their deck here. And they don't even have to show me what it was. All right, am I just dead? Did they find the Neoform? Did they find the Eldritch Evolution? They've got Allosaurus Rider, exiling Summoner's Pact and Wistfulness. Wow, just once again, getting completely clowned on. Drawing up to 8 here. Profane Tutor is going to attempt to come off Suspend. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. Like, what do I grab here? I could grab Pithing Needle, shut off the Grizzlebrand, but then I would still be vulnerable to Wistfulness. I could grab Curse Totem, shut off the Grizzlebrand, but then Wistfulness is still the thing. I could grab a discard spell of some sort. I could grab Torpor Orb, but then I die to Besage. I don't know what to do here. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. You know what? I'm actually gonna consult chat for help. What do y'all think that I should be doing here? And if you're watching this video and you're at this point, I would love it if you could leave a suggestion in the comments. What would you do in this situation? I decided to ignore everyone's suggestions, even my own suggestion. I'm gonna grab second Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, Profane Tutor, right on time. Look at you. Okay, so it literally just didn't matter what I did at all, because this deck also runs mainboard Consigned to Memory, if everybody forgot about that. And this looks like a Consigned to Memory. Yeah, see, here we go. So that's lovely. It just didn't matter. Maybe even second Ensnaring Bridge was the correct call because of that. But in all honesty, I am likely going to die this turn. Yeah, that's another Eldritch Evolution. They found another Allosaurus Rider. And I'm going to die in the exact same manner. Wow, the exact same manner that I did last time. I would like to just be on record to state that this is ridiculous. Now that I'm on record stating that it's ridiculous, I'm going to cry in the corner, and I'm going to be back for match 5. I'm on the play here. I've been on the play a lot this league. It just hasn't been helping. In match 5 versus PredatorLLM, huh? Well, that's terrifying. This hand is 4 lands, 2 discard spells, and an Ensnaring Bridge. This is probably the weakest keepable hand on Technicality. But I am not feeling like keeping weak hands on Technicality right now. I'm going to mulligan this. Wow, this hand's even worse. Ugh. I don't think I'm going to 5 off of it. I think I'm just going to pray that the Meat Massacre does something. At least the LLM is also mulliganing. My 4-card hand is so sad. Sacred Foundry into Ragavan. Could be any number of things. And I'm drawing lands, sure. Oh my goodness, they hit an Ensnaring Bridge. Yep, that's the theme of today's league. Can I play Lantern Control without Ensnaring Bridge? Because apparently I cannot find Ensnaring Bridges to save my life. And this is energy. They're floating white here. Unless they've got something like a Felia that they're casting main phase for some reason. But this feels like Guide Pride. Or like a Johnny or something. Alright, yeah, that's Voice of Victory. Voice of Victory is annoying. Oh, well, I mean, if I have to draw a land, then I guess that's the land that I want to draw, right? Just gonna F6 here. There's nothing I can do, and I want to preserve my clock. Oh, they hit my Grafdigger's Cage. Come on, cast it. I know you want to. Okay, well, they have a Goblin Bombardment here. Profane Tutor is coming off Suspend, which is really interesting. I'm trying to think about what I want to grab. I can't really do everything that I want to do here. I don't know. I could grab, like, the Underworld Cookbook and start discarding lands because they're doing jack diddly squat for me right now. And that could lead to like a real big blowout with Meat Hook Massacre next turn. My thing here is that I kind of want this Voice of Victory off the table. I think grabbing Pithing Needle just for Goblin Bombardment is just like, that's just a small brain way of approaching this because I want to line up. My goal here is to line up Meat Hook Massacre with Goblin Bombardment. That's what I really want to do. So if I just grab Underworld Cookbook, start gaining life, and then mop stuff up, I mean, I have all these lands. And worst case scenario, if I take this line, I can just Meat Hook Massacre on turn 5. But the problem with that is that I'm not establishing a lock. Do I think that I can establish a lock while also doing all of the things that I want to do? I could Meat Hook Massacre for 3 on turn 5 still. If I grab something like a Lantern of Insight now, I haven't checked their hand. I think that the question that I'm really asking here is, do I want to play a lock game or do I want to play a normal game? I could also just grab Urza Saga. Unfortunately here, I think just Ensnaring Bridge is just bad. I hate to say it, but I think it's just bad. I think I am going to grab the Underworld Cookbook, and I hit Lantern of Insight anyway. So that means that I could grab a Mox Opal off this Urza Saga if I really wanted to. I'm going to play this swap, and I'm going to play Lantern off of Mycosynth Gardens. Uh-oh, I didn't want to play Lantern. I wanted to play Underworld Cookbook. I'm sure it's fine. I could Meat Hook Massacre now. If I did that, then I would be more protected from Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, the Lantern was a mistake. I wanted to play Underworld Cookbook there. I think I'm going to wait. Let's just see what happens. There's a very good chance that I'm going to lose this game and I'm just burning time for no reason. I'm just really doing my best to try and find the correct line. Oh yeah, I guess I got Thoughtseize on top of my deck now, huh? Wow, that's actually terrible. Like, I cannot afford for them to Thoughtseize me here. Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle. Okay, they hit Lantern of Insight. Yeah, go ahead and cast that, please. Oh, they are casting it. Yeah, yes, please. Thank you. That's fantastic. Oh, and they just let the warriors go. They didn't sack them to Goblin Bombardment, huh? Okay. I'm getting somewhere. I don't think I create the construct. I think I'm just gonna let this Urza Saga do its thing. And they just let it go. Do I get Pithing Needle for Lantern of Insight? No, I feel like it's just better to get my own Lantern. Although Pithing Needle on Lantern does prevent them from shuffling. Yeah, I'm gonna put Pithing Needle on Lantern of Insight. Okay, and now it is time for Big Boy Meat Hook Massacre. Now they're sacking stuff. And this will shut off Goblin Bombardment. No. Don't tell me you just have something else to do here. All right, Arena of Glory into Guide of Souls. That's something that I can handle. I think I can maybe just barely handle this, actually. Well, Jeez, this is rough. I would have to dread myself. That they have 5 on the table, so I have to drop Cookbook here and activate it, or else I'm just dead immediately. I think the path forward here would involve something like suspend Profane Tutor, activate the Underworld Cookbook, gain life. Huh, Plage. They still have 2 cards in hand that I don't know what they are. That makes me uncomfortable. Just go ahead and do this now. Oh, this might just be lethal. Let's just make it happen. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is just lethal. Dang it. All right. Well, I did my best, I think. It's just a really weird game. Like, I could have gotten Ensnaring Bridge, but there's just... I don't know. I don't know how I was supposed to play that game. I could see potentially a different line where Profane Tutor gets Ensnaring Bridge and I get, like, Cookbook or something for the Goblin Bombardment, and then I just, like, naturally draw a lock. But, like, at the point that I was making that decision, I didn't have a lock. So I'm not sure. This is just not Ensnaring Bridge's league. Okay, so against this deck, Blood Moon comes out, Grafdigger's Cage comes out, Lightning Bolt and Pyroclasm come in. Nice, clean mapping. It's one of the very few matchups that I actually did do a proper matchup thing for this deck. And I will be on the play. Well, I've got Ensnaring Bridge in this hand, so I'm gonna keep it. Running out of time, too. I spent too long losing that game. Gonna have to play a little bit tighter here. Come on, just like Mold to Oblivion and let me run you over with these Urza Saga constructs. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. They kept 6. Honestly, I think I can handle Ragavans. I'm gonna take the Ajani out of this hand. That's just like a problem and also a clock. Get a quick lock set up. A land was a beautiful draw. I love to see that. Pyroclasm is a really good pickup for me as well. Yeah, you can have this Guide of Souls. They've got 1 unknown card in hand. I need to be prepared for that. I think that this could be a really clean, easy win for me. It'll depend on what that last card in their hand is that I don't know about. But my hand was great. I had a lock in it. I had discard. I had Urza Saga. I had Ensnaring Bridge. Like, there's not really much more that I could have asked for. Now, here's an interesting decision to make. Guide of Souls is coming down. I think I actually am going to exile here. I kind of want to have this Urza Saga go all the way to completion. Completion. All right, Pyxis on top of my deck is not particularly fun. I would have a 3/3 construct here if I just made a construct. Oh no, am I talking myself out of casting Ensnaring Bridge? Like, I don't want the hero to hit this Pyxis off of Ragavan. I actually might be talking myself out of casting Ensnaring Bridge. You know what? That's the theme of the league today. Theme of the league is not having Ensnaring Bridge in play. So this would get blown out by Galvanic Discharge. Oh wait, no, the Elegant Parlor, that's the card. Okay. So that's the card that was the mistake. So this card right here, that's unknown. This line would get blown out by Galvanic Discharge. But I think if they don't have Discharge, then it's okay. Ooh, surveilling that to the graveyard, are we? Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that. So that was their last unknown card. But yeah, you may not have Shatterstorm. What on earth? I've noticed this being in the sideboard of some of these decks. It's really annoying me. Well, I'm gonna let you attack. No attacks. That's right. Can I power through their hand? I think I might be able to power through their hand with these constructs. Do I have to power through their hand? I'm going to see what's on top of their deck after this Pyxis activates. Oh, it's just Elegant Parlor. I am going to do something really wild here. I am not going to make an additional construct. I am instead going to grab Mox Opal. And then I am going to just cast out probably, honestly, everything that's not Ensnaring Bridge. Shredder, Cookbook, and then I'm going to pass turn. Yeah, I'm just going to pass turn here. I think this game's almost locked up. I just need to be very careful. So they could sacrifice all of their stuff, deal some damage to me, bring back Blage. If they play Arena of Glory. Oh no, but they would still be 1 card short. I do need to get Ensnaring Bridge down. I just need to do it next turn. If they play this Elegant Parlor, then they actually cast cannot cast Flage this turn. Because there's no way on earth that I'm doing anything, yeah, other than blocking this Ragavan. Surveil that Spyro to Yard, yeah. No, they didn't do that. No attacks. Underworld Cookbook is going to discard one of these Ensnaring Bridges. And I am going to immediately pop the food. I'm going to mill that Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, that's Arena of Glory on top of their deck here. No more funny business. Ensnaring Bridge is down. And now this game's over. I'm going to stop tracking their hand. I need to focus on winning this game. I want to try and win this game in 3 minutes. Just know they've got nothing relevant in hand. Okay, so they're spending their energy on bringing back Blage. I'm going to mill this Inquisition of Kozilek on top of my deck. I don't really want that. I don't want this Ensnaring Bridge either. I already have one of those. And it's time to suspend Profane Tutor and pass turn. So while this Goblin Bombardment is in play and active, I do not want them drawing the Ocelot Pride. I don't want them drawing a Ajani. But it looks like it's just not going to be that type of game. Yeah, here comes the Flage. So this Flage can deal 4 damage to me for every 4 mana they have and every 5 cards they have in graveyard, because they have the Goblin Bombardment that can just continually sack it. I am at a high enough life total, and I have this Underworld Cookbook that's active, so I'm not particularly worried about this. I am, however, going to make a passive attempt at finding more Pyxides so that I can passively keep their graveyard clean. That should allow Underworld Cookbook to gain more life than Flage and any creatures that they can sack to Bombardment would be able to, like, deal damage to me for. Oh, I should have milled myself here. I was just not paying attention. Like, it's fine. I'm just going to discard this Lantern, and I'm going to gain the life. And I'm going to F6. They literally have, like, stone cold nothing that they can do here. Ooh, Celestial Purge. Yeah, you can have that. How do you have Celestial? Oh, did you see, like, a Blood Moon or something? I don't... Whatever. I want that on top of their deck, and I also want to cast this Profane Tutor. And I want this Pithing Needle in my deck still, so I am just not going to do anything. Just going to fetch a Pyxis of Pandemonium. This is part of my win condition. Discard this Inquisition. I don't need that. Gain the life. I do need that. Play Pyxis. Pass turn. Got to be really fast with your stuff here. And I already know that the Celestial Purge is fine for them to draw. I am going to F0. Yeah, that Legend of Roku, that can just go straight to hell. Ajani is a big nope. Yeah, you can have another Bombardment. See if I care. Gonna just do this now. And this hero's really struggling under the lock. The game is won for me at this point. This should be a concession. Unless they're trying to run me out of time. Like, the 3rd Goblin Bombardment is not gonna do anything for you, friend. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna bother gaining the life off this food. That's not what this game is about. Like, I'm at 23 life, that's plenty. This Ocelot Pride will be a problem, though, so I'm going to mill that. Okay, they finally figured out that they're not going to win this game. Whew. I am going to restart my client again really quickly. Ninja restart. Didn't even have to use any of my sideboard cards in that game. That's nice. Yikers! I am going to keep this. Just because Pyroclasm does such a good job at cleaning up their board. Like this Ocelot Pride right here, yeah. That is an Urza Saga. I'm gonna Blackcleave Cliffs, actually. And discarding a Meltdown. Get the heck out of here. Come on. Why are you trying to melt down me? Don't you know I have Thoughtseizes in my deck? Oh, that is a Mox Opal. I think I can afford to just start suspending my stuff. I'm really hoping that they play into this Pyroclasm here. That would be lovely. Come on, just cast like 2 Guide of Souls. Ah, they're just flaging me. All right, fine. Profane Tutor's coming off suspend next turn. Bloodstained Mire is not a fantastic pickup, I'm not gonna lie. Don't really like that. I think I will actually have to just... Oh, Wrath of the Skies. Yeah, get rid of that. Pyroclasm now. Just clear the board. Just give me lots and lots of time here. And Arena of Glory was their draw. I have a Flage in the graveyard here. They do. That's going to be coming out next turn. I kind of just want to grab Ensnaring Bridge here. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm super strongly tempted to grab Ensnaring Bridge. That Flage is going to be coming out of the graveyard, and it's going to cause me all sorts of grief. I'm only at 12. If I had my Grafdigger's Cage, I would be tempted to grab that, but I don't. I think I am going to grab the Ensnaring Bridge. I'm going to hope to find a Millrock or a Lantern at some point, and not that. Oh, I guess making this construct was a little bit silly, wasn't it? Like, they have 2 Galvanic Discharges in hand. I should have known that. Yeah, Lantern of Insight's coming down. That's a Mountain on top of their deck. A Lantern on top of mine. I don't really want this Lantern. I want a Mill Rock. Grab basic Swamp here. Ugh. All these fetch lands. Well, I am, at the very least, going to check to see what's in your hand. My token's gonna die. I could have had Ensnaring Bridge in play here. Celestial Purge or Galvanic Discharge. Celestial Purge is literally completely dead. Oh no, they had Arena of Glory. Oh my god. I completely forgot. I completely forgot about Arena of Glory. I should have not have made that silly construct. Oh, this deck is so hard to play. Oh, my hat is gone because it's so hard to play. This deck is so difficult that it stole my hat. Just gonna sit here and let this happen to me. I deserve this loss. I deserve it. So what would have happened if I had actually been smart and cast Ensnaring Bridge? I would have drawn a card, there would have been Prismatic Vista, then Pithing Needle, and then a Pyxis, so I would have won. All right. I would have won the match. Jeez. All right, well, let's wrap up the league. So I think the deck performed mostly okay. Well, I don't know. Like, it's kind of difficult. I think it performed as well as a Lantern control deck can. I did make a couple of pretty critical errors that cost me some matches, I think. But on the whole, like, I don't know what was going on today, but Ensnaring Bridge just was not in play. It just wasn't in play. Sometimes I would be looking for Ensnaring Bridge and I wouldn't find it. Sometimes I would have Ensnaring Bridge, but just be like, yeah, it's not the time to play Ensnaring Bridge. And sometimes I would just straight up make stupid mistakes and just lose for no reason. But today was not Ensnaring Bridge's day. And quite frankly, it wasn't my day either because of it. I still want to continue experimenting with this list. I think that there might be some value to the Meat Hook Massacre. I'm not certain that I want it in the main board. This might be more of a sideboard thing. But it does have utility in some places, and I saw that today. It's just kind of difficult to get it to line up with everything. Like, maybe I was a bit greedy in Game 2 versus that last Energy opponent, where I held Massacre in hand just a little bit too long. Or maybe that was Game 1. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was just a little bit too greedy with that. And I should have just gotten it down, even if all it did was sweep up a Ragavan. I'm not gonna lie. The Blood Moons and the Magus of the Moons just felt stone cold awful. I feel like they were a little bit better, like 3 months ago, 6 months ago. But there are just a lot of 0-color decks, even 2-color decks, that can more or less just kind of shrug off a Blood Moon. One of the issues with a deck like this is that Profane Tutor is just far and away the best consistency piece that you can play behind Urza's Saga. And after Urza's Saga and Profane Tutor, the card quality just kind of falls off a cliff. And I really just am not in the mood to be playing bad cards because they fit the category that I'm looking to fill out. Like 12 Hate Rocks, that's a lot of Hate Rocks. I could take the Blood Moons out, sure, but then what? I fill them with that interaction. That's kind of what I did in some previous builds, was I took the Lightning Bolts and the Pyroclasms and stuff and I just put them in the main. I could see that. Lightning Bolt would have been more useful than Blood Moon in this league, basically everywhere. Almost everywhere. I'm not sure. So maybe I can't recommend playing Blood Moon. Maybe I can recommend playing Red, but not Blood Moon. This deck felt like it had a lot of lands in it. Like, there were just a lot of places where I was just really, really struggling because I was drawing so many lands. And maybe the calculators will say, yes, your land count looks fantastic. But when you're playing in practice, you have ways to find lands without outright just drawing them naturally. The Lantern Lock is really good at doing that, for example. And it might be possible that I want to go back down to 22 lands. I don't know. Like, I felt like there were a lot of situations today where it was just land, and that hurt a lot. So part of it is the deck construction thing. Part of it is just me making silly mistakes. It happens. I'm going to make some changes to this list because I still think that there is something here, but I'm going to have to find it. This program is made possible by generous funding from these sponsors, and also by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to Fate Seal Magic from viewers like you. Thank you.